Hello everyone, this is our lecture number 36. In this lecture, we study about the one-way simply supported slab. So, in our previous lecture, we already discussed that we find the solution for slab. For that, we have to consider the 1 meter beam, means 1 meter width beam. So here first we see that this is our slab. Okay, we have shorter span Lx and we have longer span Ly. So when we find the solution or construct the slab, we have to take a cross section of beam which is 1 meter in width, and for that we have to calculate the all values, and after finding this value we have to elaborate to all slab. Okay, so this is our slab. Now here we take the cross section of beam. So here we have a beam. This is the two supports on which they lie, means it is actually the slab, but here we act as a beam because this is 1 meter in width. So this one is the main reinforcement. This red dot is the distribution steel. This is the bent up bars, and bent up bars we take from support center to bent up bars is 0.15 L, and this span is the Lx. So this is the detailed structure of our slab. Means when we solve a problem and after that we have to draw a diagram or detailing the slab. So like this we have to detailing the slab. In this lecture we study some design consideration which we used to solve the problems on one way slab which is simply supported. One way slab which is simply supported. So here we see some design consideration for that. So first is, you write here design consideration. Design consideration. First is effective depth. Effective depth, and this design consideration is for simply supported slab. Okay, and this effective depth given in clause IS 456/2000, page number 37, clause number 23.2.1. This effective depth clause gives in page number 37 of IS 456/2000. They have given for deflection control. This is already done. Deflection control L by D ratio. So for simply supported we know that L by D ratio is 20, and we multiply with this modification factor. Why? Because we already studied in our previous lecture, when we take a reinforcement for tension, for compression and for T beam and L beam, we have to modify this ratio. So for that we have to multiply this with modification factor. Okay, where we called MF is the modification factor, and this factor we have given in IS 456/2000. So this given in IS 456/2000, page number 38, figure number 4. You remember that point when you use any clause in your problems or in your theory part, you have to give reference of that code, page number and clause for that. Okay, so if you have not given anything here, then you have to assume percentage steel 0.3 to 0.6%, because for finding the modification factor in figure number 4 we have given one formula. Fs is equal to 0.58 into Fy into AST required divided by AST provided. So for finding the modification factor, we have to find the Fs, and Fs is the stress in steel at service load. Fs is the stress in steel at service load. So after finding the Fs, we have find the modification factor value, and after finding the modification factor value, we have to multiply in our equation L by D ratio is equal to 20 for simply supported case. Okay, so here you have assumed steel is 0.3 to 0.6%. Now for finding the Fs, we required AST required and AST provided. So in initial phase, what we have do, we assume AST required is equal to AST provided. Initially assume that AST required equal to AST provided. If AST required is equal to AST provided, this means this part is cancelled out because we put AST required is equal to AST provided, and we have remaining this part, means Fs value is totally dependent on Fy. So if we have given Fy is equal to 250, then Fs value is equal to 145 Newton per mm square. If Fs is equal to 415, sorry, Fy is equal to 415, then Fs is equal to 240 Newton per mm square, and if Fy is equal to 500, Fy is equal to 500, then value is 290 Newton per mm square. So first consideration is you have to find the effective depth, and for finding the effective depth you have to use L by D ratio, and for simply supported case L by D is equal to 20, and if we use for tension criteria, then you have to multiply with modification factor, and for finding the modification factor value you have to find the Fs, and these are the Fs value for different grade of steel. Okay, so this is our first consideration, this is the effective depth. Now second is the effective span. Second one is the effective span. You have to find the effective span. Effective span. This is in clause IS code IS 456 2000, page number 34, clause number 22.2a. This is A because in this clause we have given all beams, means cantilever beam, continuous beam, but here we take simply supported slab, that's why we say clause number 22.2a. Okay, so here you have given two conditions. First is clear span plus D, and second is center to center of supports. So you have to take whichever is smaller. You have to take whichever is smaller. In case of effective span and beam is simply supported. Okay. Third one is the reinforcement requirements. Reinforcement requirements. This is given in IS 456 2000, page number 48, clause number 26.5.2.1. Okay, so about the reinforcement requirement we have given in IS 456 2000, page number 48, clause number 26.5.2.1. In this we have given three things: minimum reinforcement, maximum diameter, and minimum diameter. Okay, so first we write the first we write the minimum reinforcement. So minimum reinforcement we have given for Fe 250, PT is equal to 0.15% of total cross section area, means 0.0015 small b into capital D. Here we take capital D, you remember that thing, 0.0015 BD or 0.15%. okay, this is for 250, and for Fe 415 or 500 we have take PT is equal to 0.12% of total cross sectional area or 0.0012 small b capital D. This is the minimum reinforcement criteria in one way simply supported slab condition. Okay, now we have to see the minimum diameter and maximum diameter. So first we see maximum diameter, second is the maximum diameter. Maximum diameter is, we have given maximum diameter of bar should not be more than 1/8 into capital D. 1/8 into capital D, and you know that capital D is the overall depth. Capital D is the overall depth of the slab. And third one is the minimum diameter. Maximum diameter you have provided 1/8 of overall depth, and minimum diameter is minimum diameter. Now here we have provided two bars, main bars and distribution bar. So for both we have minimum diameter criteria. So minimum diameter for main bars, if we use plain bars, means 250 Newton per mm square, then minimum diameter is 10 mm. Minimum diameter is 10 mm. If we use deform bar or HYSD bars, means the bar which is greater than 250, then we have used 8 mm bar when we apply for the main bars. Now for distribution bars, if we use distribution bars as a plain bars, then it is 6 mm, and for deform bar again it is 6 mm, because it is resist only the temperature, secondary bar, but main bars is the requirement of a slab. So these are the criteria under the reinforcement requirement. Now after finding this reinforcement, you have to check whether it is fail in cracking, deflection or development length. So after that we have to provide the checks, means here our problem is solved, means in this case up to this point we have find the reinforcement. After finding the reinforcement, our design consideration is over, but we have to provide checks whether this design is fail in different criteria or safe in different criteria, and these criteria are cracking, deflection, development length. These are the criteria in which we have to provide or check the check is required. Okay, so first is the check for cracking. Check for cracking. This is given in IS 456 2000, page number 46. Okay, for main steel. You also remember these things because this directly asked in competitive examination, so you have to remember these points. 3 into D for main steel. D is the effective depth and second is the 300 mm. Okay, so spacing should not exceed smaller of these two values. This is for main bars. And for distribution bar, for distribution steel, 5D and second one is the 450 mm. In competitive examination they directly ask value for distribution steel and main steel, so you have to remember 3D and 300 for main steel and 5D and 450 for distribution steel, and this criteria is same as above. Okay, so this is the criteria of check for cracking. Now we see the criteria for check for deflection. Check for deflection. So check for deflection. We know that allowable L by D ratio is 20 into modification factor. 20 into modification factor. MF is obtained from IS 456 2000, page number 38 and figure number 4. Now we have to find the actual L by D. If actual L by D is less than allowable L by D, then okay. Means allowable L by D is greater than actual L by D, then our design is okay. If this fail in design, then you have to restart with the first point. If you have find check for deflection or check for cracking is not safe, then you have to redesign this slab and start your solution with point number 1. Okay, so this is the criteria of check for deflection. Now check for development length. Last one is the check for development length, in bracket we call LD. Okay, so this is given in IS 456 2000, page number 44, clause number 26.2.3.3 point C. LD should be less than 1.3 m1 upon v plus L naught. Okay, where LD is equal to, we know that where LD is equal to phi sigma s upon tau BD into 4 and sigma s is the 0.87 Fy. Okay, or here what we have to do, we have to take 50% steel bent up bars near support. find MR for 50% only, because we here take 50% of steel as a bent up bars, so we find the moment of resistance for 50% only, because here we have to find the M1 and M1 is the moment of resistance, so moment of resistance is find for the 50% steel. Okay, so these are the check for development length. Now here I give you some hints regarding taking the bars or area of steels. So for main steel, if AST is greater than 300 mm square, use 10 mm bars, and if AST is less than 300 mm square, use 8 mm bars. For distribution steel, if AST is greater than 200 mm square, use 8 mm or 6 mm. If AST is less than 200 mm square, use 6 mm bars. Okay, and note one thing, bars can be bent up or curtailed. Bars can be bent up or curtailed only if containing bars provided minimum reinforcement and also the check for development length is satisfied. This hint we used when we have taking assuming the values and we have faced some problem. So these are the hints. If you have AST greater than 300 mm square, then use 10 mm bars, or if AST less than 300 mm square, then use 8 mm bars. Okay, so these are the design criteria or design consideration for one-way simply supported slab. When we solve the problem, we use these design considerations and find the solution for simply supported slab or design the one-way slab. Now today's last topic is the purpose of distribution steel. Why we need a distribution steel? So purpose of distribution steel. फर्स्ट, पहले तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन स्टील is provided distribution steel is provided in the longer span of one-way slab and main reinforcement provided on shorter span. Now why we provide this? To distribute the concentrated loads coming on the slab. This ask in interview also, why we provide the purpose of the distribution steel. So you have to remember these points. To protect against shrinkage and temperature stresses. And last one is to keep the main steel in proper position. Okay, so these are the design consideration and purpose of distribution of steel in one way slab or one way simply supported slab. This lecture is over, guys. If you have any problem, then comment me in my comment box. Thank you.